You're listening to a Destiny Park Media podcast. Attention everyone, this is an emergency Akira Slide Podcast announcement. You're listening to the lost episode of Akira Slide. And what does that mean? Well, this was originally part of episode 15. What happened was we were talking about a band called Babymetal, which is a band from Japan, and I knew that before we got into the studio. And for some reason, when the microphone is in front of you, sometimes your brain does not remember stuff, and you spread misinformation. So after reflecting for a while and talking to some close friends, I realized that I was taking myself too seriously, and rather than editing or ADRing every mistake out, I am just going to leave it as it stands and give a disclaimer. And it's a really fun episode. Jallah and I are flying all over the place and having a ton of fun. Thank you for listening.
Well, you and I are ramen heads.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we got to go to more restaurants, by the way, because you and I have similar taste in food.
That's very true. Very, very true.
We went to that French restaurant the other day, the French burger place, Le Burger. That was great. We got to go back.
I really feel with them. I gotta get my money's up.
Okay.
Gotta get my cash going.
I'll treat you.
I appreciate it. Wait, someone owes me a lunch, but I don't think it's you.
I don't think it's me. I think you paid for your own lunch.
Yeah. Who? I'm going to use my platform to figure out who owes me a lunch.
Yeah, you remind me of like a giant that's looking for a little, regular size person.
Right. Who here is taking my lunch?
Who owes me a lunch? I smell the blood of
an Englishman
who owes me a lunch. I wanted to talk about some music for a bit because we talked about Poppy last week, I believe, or maybe it was the week before.
Mm-hmm.
Something has happened.
Yeah.
There are these moments when on this podcast, stuff that we talk about seems to be sort of brought back to life.
Yeah.
After we talk about it.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is because of us. It is not a coincidence.
No.
We are important. We
were important to the Zeitgeist.
Yeah, the Zeitgeist. Yes, that's correct. Be my guest. Be my geist.
Yeah, there you go. Be my geist.
Be my geist. Have you ever heard of these gals, Babymetal?
So I haven't heard of them.
Okay. Next. No, I'm just kidding.
Next song. Anyway, have you heard of this song?
Skip.
We're in the car listening to the records. It's like, skip.
Oh, this part's great. Hold on. Skip.
There you go. No, I have not heard of them. I have not.
For those of you who are uninitiated, and I'm kind of uninitiated.
Sure.
It's three girls who started out, and I'm saying girls, I'm not saying women, because they started out when they were little children.
What?
Yeah. I know the stuff that they're putting out now, these are like young adult women.
Sure.
But like one of them was like around 9 years old, I want to say, the youngest member.
Crazy.
So like, that
as an artist?
As an artist, yeah. Talented kids. 3 talented kids. They were a Korean group, Korean girl group.
Yeah.
That the gimmick is that they are backed by metal musicians.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. And I had seen them a few years ago. They had this song called Gimme Chocolate.
Is this from the early days?
This is from the early days.
Okay, good times.
But it's a fucking awesome song.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I didn't check out
more of it.
Yeah. But that song has always been one of my favorites.
I don't think I've heard it yet.
It's a beautiful track. The chorus has this really awesome chord progression where it's like, it's kind of not metal, but it's being played with such ferocity that you still feel the lift of the metal from the verses.
Sure.
And, I won't sing the chord progression, but it's a beautiful chord progression. It's jazzy and kind of just like almost melancholic.
Is there a Michael in the group? And not referencing you or me.
No.
But the
MJ. No, there's no Mike. There's no Mike.
Okay.
There was someone who moved on to do a solo career, I believe.
Okay.
She left due to sickness. This was misinformation again. Sorry.
But the group is still great without them.
Got it.
It's not like nobody cares after this person left. Like if MJ left the Jacksons,
Yeah, if he did.
If he did. I literally don't even know that's how much it made them irrelevant.
He's like,
no offense.
What in the hell?
I don't know how you feel about the Jacksons.
No, I love the Jackson family.
Okay.
I love Janet.
This is Tito. Sorry, there's a scene in The Office where Michael is prank calling Ryan and he goes, "This is Michael Jackson." And then later he goes, "This is Tito." It's so stupid.
That's sort of dumb.
Yeah. Anyway, and by the way, the greatest bit about him doing those prank phone calls is that every person he has call Ryan is named Mike as well. So he's so stupid and uncreative. His name is Michael Scott, and he's like, "This is Mike Tyson." Michael Jackson. So stupid. That's so dumb. Yeah, The Office.
The Office.
Great show.
Yeah.
I don't want to open that can of worms.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll go there some other time.
We'll go there some other time, but season 1 through 3 good. But rest mid to bad. Sorry. So, but anyway, back to the babies.
Yeah,
the beautiful babies.
Yeah, back to the littles.
So these girls have earned their street cred in the metal community. They've gone on tours. Okay. They've opened for people. They've been at festivals.
Nice.
And they get the crowd to go crazy.
Awesome.
And like, people have stood up for them. Like, big metal guys have stood up for them and said, "You guys shut the fuck up." Because there's going to be,
of course,
angry 40-year-old virgins.
Who the fuck are these girls?
These are little girls. This isn't metal.
They don't scream.
This is corporate. Yeah, okay.
This is corporate.
Yeah,
right, bro.
They're a Korean pop group, so it's going to be a little corporate.
Yeah.
Congrats, Neo. You figured out you're in the Matrix. So you like that one. That's good.
That's good.
So I loved the song "Gimme Chocolate."
Yeah.
And it's a song about, it's so funny. People try to read into pop music. This interviewer said to them, I believe this song's about eating disorders. So, what did you think about, how do you feel about writing a song about eating disorders? And these poor little sweet Korean girls are like, no, it's not about eating disorders. It's about eating chocolate and being worried that we're going to get fat. And the guy's like, "Oh, okay, sorry."
I love that people impose their...
That is like all of Reddit.
Yeah, that's why I...
Upvote.
Upvote. Quick read.
But I've been a fan, but like a casual fan.
Sure.
I don't know nothing about the group really, but
they seem cool.
You know who I do know about?
Oh yeah,
Poppy.
Miss Poppy.
And for those of you who didn't listen, Poppy is she has her hair dyed black right now, but I believe she is a natural blonde. Mm-hmm. This is meaningless. I don't know why I brought that up.
I mean, it's good. But she's get a
little descriptor. So she's a kind of a small woman, you know.
She is
demure.
Yeah.
I hope these are not like offensive descriptors, but
she's small.
She's small, petite.
Yeah.
God damn it, I'm just stepping in it. But so you look at her and you think, if you find out that she's in music, let's say you are at a party with her and she's like, "I do music," and she's very soft spoken. Mm-hmm. There we go. This is more. I was focusing more on her appearance.
Yes.
So her voice is incredibly soft, almost ASMR like when she's talking.
Yeah.
And very pleasing to the ear. And when she has done a lot of albums where she's singing. Yeah. And has a delicate voice. And it used to be that the metal that was in her music, it was a counterpoint to her soft vocal. She would have other people do growls for her.
Right. Okay.
And we mentioned this. She has now started to growl in her own music. Mm-hmm. And she's not having people featured growl for her. She's doing it herself. And I think she's sounding fantastic doing it.
She's doing great.
We watched a performance after the record, and you and I were both just talking while the performance was going on, which, Rouge, Poppy was like, "Stop this.
I'm trying to sing.
I'm trying to growl."
No, she didn't.
But there was a growl in the performance that literally shut you up while you were talking. Yeah. And it was so cool to see, because I remember when I was casually watching the performance, that exact moment was what knocked me out and went, "Holy shit."
She's got amazing control of her voice while she's in that mode.
And I'm a broken record, but I believe she must have done tons of training.
Tons. And
saw a great voice teacher. Because you can see on her face, she is like locked in, and her facial muscles are like not tense.
Right.
Because when you do tension when you're singing, that is the enemy of amazing vocals.
Yes, yes.
But so she doesn't look like she's going nuts, but her voice sounds incredible.
It's all about control.
So there's been comparisons to Babymetal for Poppy for the last 5 years because it's a young girl singing metal and her voice is kind of soft.
Right.
So this was like a match made in heaven. When I saw that there was a song that said Babymetal and then featuring Poppy, I was like, no fucking
Screamed.
way. It was April 1st relatively recently. So
yeah, it
could have been what was your favorite April Fool's joke you saw? It's a fun day.
I saw Babish review Waters. Yeah. That was funny. Oh, my favorite one. Well, it's not my favorite, but yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Fantano. This is really funny. Fantano on his separate channel, like his regular name channel, I think it's called Fantano. He's put out a video called I Made a Mistake. And he goes on to describe an album that he should have reviewed that he had not reviewed. He's not saying the person's name, so I'm laughing. I'm he's just gonna not say who he's talking about. And he goes on to describe this album that he should have reviewed. Starts talking about country music and how it's sweeping the nation. You know, they featured a bunch of country artists on this album. And weirdly enough, when he started talking about that, in my head I said, he's talking about the Wiggles, isn't he? Why would I say that? I don't know. I'm aware, because I'm a dad, I'm aware that the Wiggles released a country album featuring a bunch of country artists, some that we know and some from, overseas in Australia. And weirdly enough, when he started describing it, I was like, he's talking about the Wiggles, isn't he? Laughing in my head because I'm like, there's no way. And he keeps talking and he keeps going. And the more he's describing this album, I'm like, oh no, he's definitely talking about the Wiggles. And then he says the Wiggles Giddy Up album, and I said, oh shit, how the fuck did I know this motherfucker was talking about the Wiggles?
Oh, Fantano.
So he breaks down the album, he goes over some songs. It was fantastic. I thought it was great because the Wiggles be out here. They working.
Respect.
And they put out album after album after album. And I've been privy to their work for the past 4 years, 4 years or so.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so, and they have some great music and they perform their asses off. And, I mean, the country album is fine. I like other albums more than that one, but I should start reviewing.
Yes.
I'm going to come out with, I'm reviewing Wiggles albums.
Well, let me know when the metal album comes out. I'll listen to that one.
They did do a club album. And that was an interesting album. It actually sounds pretty good. It's basically just club beats behind their songs.
I've only heard good things about the Wiggles.
Yeah, they're great. But so that was my favorite, or one of my favorite things that I was able to guess that he was jokingly talking about reviewing. And I guess he must have listened to it because Dolly Parton's on the album and a few other country music artists. Sure. Yeah, so they pulled the big guns.
Okay,
that was funny.
Okay,
yeah. How about you? I mean, what's your April Fool's? There's a few things that have been out there.
Yeah, this isn't my favorite, but it's the one I remember the most. Which is that someone said this is the type of April Fool's joke I hate, which is someone on Reddit said they just announced a new season of Kaiji. They're going to adapt the I forget the name of the arc actually.
Sure.
But they had a screenshot that looked really convincing, and it was from that Pachinko game. And so, but if you forget that it's April Fool's Day while you're scrolling Reddit and you see that, for a split second you go, "Oh, new Kaiji."
First Kaiji, yes.
First time after 15 years, I finally can go on living, and then it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts hard,
and it's. My theory is that it also hurts the person who makes the prank.
Oh, I'm sure.
And there's sadness as they do this, and they go, "Why am I doing this?" Why
am I hurting myself? And
when Prince was still here, rest in peace. There would be fake new album announcements. There'd be fake super deluxe edition announcements because he hated doing retrospective packages back in the day.
I understand that.
He wouldn't ever do something like what they're doing now.
Sure,
with DVDs and But that was the type of April Fool's joke that would be annoying too.
Yeah, that's the thing is I stay away a little bit from social when it comes to the April Fool's stuff because people just say anything.
And I'm aware of it on the day, but I still get tricked. I guess it counts as working if for a split second I read something and then Like, I occasionally...
You basically double take.
Yeah, double take. There you go. That does count as, like... I was too proud to admit it for a while, but...
I double-taked a little bit.
I double-taked it.
That's fine.
I was telling my friend Johnny about it, and I'm like, I don't think it counts because I didn't actually believe it. Like, and it's not like it's my fault that when I read something and I'm absorbing it, I take it as fact for a second. And
your brain has time to process.
Right, and I quoted myself and said, bro's mad or something.
Bro's mad.
Somebody's mad. But Poppy is one of my favorite artists, and over the past few months, I've really gotten back into her work. Mm-hmm. So I was cautiously interested in the song. I'm not really much of a metal guy. I like some metal here and there.
Sure.
But I'm not crazy about it.
Would you consider yourself more of like a...
Alt rock?
How do you feel about funk and groove and that? I feel like that's your energy too. I guess maybe the Prince thing and stuff.
I love
like
Prince.
Yeah.
I love... There's this guy, oh God, what's his name? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name. He has the song called Medicine, and Dayglow. Dayglow's got some funk.
Yep.
There's this other guy, I'm blanking on his name too. I'm bad with the names.
It'll come.
Gosh, I want to, don't tell me.
Funk artist.
It's a funk artist, and he has the song called How Much Do You Love Me? It's like group. No, I keep thinking of Group Love, but that's like a total like rock band with some other eclectic genre stuff going on. Wolfpack.
Oh, okay.
Wolfpack.
Gotcha,
there we go.
See, I know
Corey Wong. He's a great funk guitarist I listen to.
Nice.
So I have a few artists that I like that are funky.
Nice.
But anywho, I watched this music video, and I'm not the biggest like guy who feels like music videos are essential, but for this song, I think the music video is a work of art as well. I buried the lead, but Poppy, Babymetal, the song is From Me to You, and it is a revelation.
It's dope.
I love it.
Yeah, I thought it was dope. You sent it to me. I was like,
I had to do it because like I can't talk about this and you not know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
No, I think it's like one of the most essential pieces of music in 2025. Like
it's a great crossover.
It's a great crossover, and it's also like an incredible mix of like styles that you wouldn't think would work. Like,
right.
This is a song that the lyric is about like killing the enemy. It's about like vengeance and fighting.
Yeah.
And it's being sung by these girls that are doing cute choreography and dancing and smiling. And it just
the
like
smiling though. Like
even the beat drop in the beginning where it's like this moody, ethereal, ambient music. And then it's building. And then the first words of the song are, let's go. Like, and a cute let's go.
It's anime-ish. Yeah.
It is. And that's, I think, why it's a great band for us to talk about. Because it feels inspired by, some of the cultural stuff that anime has given us. Like the mix of cute plus destruction plus violence.
Exactly.
It works.
Exactly.
And Poppy, she is featured on the song. And I didn't expect this when I watched it. I was thinking she'd do like some like
a verse,
some melodic stuff.
Same. I saw,
I'm like, okay, she'll sing like the chorus melodically, and the girls will be like hyped up.
Yep.
I didn't expect growls on a Babymetal song, and
I think she mostly growled on the record.
Yeah, no, she's growling though pretty much the whole time.
Yeah, like they brought her on.
For the growls.
Yeah, like do the growls.
Do the growls. And there's a line where she goes, I need a friend who will never betray me. And it's so great. And it's I thought that like the section in the beginning of the song they had her in was her only part. She's growling throughout the whole song.
Yeah, you can hear her.
It's a collab. Like it's not just like one of the worst things artists do is they'll have a feature and then have that person just pop up for a second or two.
Yeah.
That's not literal. That's not literal.
Of course.
But
a line or two.
An
ad-lib, by the way. Yeah.
Taylor Swift has done that.
Oh, really? Yeah. She's like appeared on somewhere she just does like an ad-lib.
Opposite. She has artists appear on her deluxe editions or appear on new songs. And like, I've actually not complained about it, but other people have talked about the song Fortnite that has Posty on
Fortnite.
it. Not that Fortnite.
Of course.
The
real Fortnite.
The real English.
A Fortnite.
A Fortnite. Yeah. Not the game.
Yeah, she made a game for Fortnite.
She does the dance.
Yeah, there's like dances.
She doesn't do the dance.
That would be
there's like a shot of Godzilla doing the like thing where you have your hand up to your forehead and kicking and like that.
Godzilla doing it.
It's horrific. Yeah, I hate it. It's the worst.
Horrific.
It's the worst shit I've ever seen. So anyway, but I won't kill myself.
That's
fine. Don't worry. But this song is for me, it's like a 5 out of 5. I loved it.
I thought it was a fun song.
Yeah,
Great collab.
I'm glad you liked it, and the video is, I think, really important. You can listen to it without the video.
Sure.
But Poppy's so beautiful. And the fact that she's growling so loud while looking so like poised and
she's very like this ominous character in the movie. Or sorry, in the movie in the music video.
Yeah,
it is very movie-esque though.
I don't know what the budget was for the video, but it's so cool.
Yeah,
I don't want to spoil it, but there's like an Act 3. Like twist in the video that is so good. I'll edit this out, but when she turns into like a giant demon, Poppy does. That is so great.
Yeah, I saw it,
and they have the demon singing the growls at the end.
I saw it coming because the way she was being filmed before that happens, like it was like she's like trapped in a, you know what I mean, and it's like spinning, and I'm like,
well, they didn't want to fly her out to Korea, and then they didn't want to fly the Babymetal artists.
That's too much work.
Yeah, so with technology these days,
the tech is way easier.
You could create a demon.
Demon Poppy.
Okay, that joke was funny enough where we have to keep the spoiler in.
Yeah, now it's it.
All you need is to create a demon.
Yeah, that's all you got to create a demon.
In Spider-Man No Way Home, they couldn't get the Sandman due to COVID regulations.
Oh, really?
So they created a demon. And but that's actually, the first part was true.
Oh yeah, of course, the Sandman stuff.
But yeah, and I love that the way they sing from "Let the Fire Burn from Me to You," dude, and
just the way they deliver the song is so interesting.
I checked out some other stuff of theirs, and there's some great stuff with Babymetal, and they are generous collaborators. They have this song. I forget the name of the artist, but it's a German artist that like mixes electronic, like techno.
I could see them fitting into that really well, actually.
Yeah, and so techno plus metal.
Yeah.
Great combo.
Merge.
And it's dancey and fun. No, it's...
How old are they now?
I think they are like, I don't know, I don't want to guess. Like, I think they're like 19,
because it's not 9 anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's like...
they've been around for 10 years, right? So
okay,
19,
10 years in the game.
Something like that. But yeah, they're awesome. Fantastic dancers, fantastic singers.
Are they considered that? Well, no, they're not pop. They're metal.
They are pop, metal pop.
Yeah, would they be in the? Would they be placed in K-pop land?
No,
because they're not K-pop.
Yeah, they're not K-pop.
Yeah, but they're just like a. You know, I'm always interested. You know how America has their genres and like, popularity, like, per like the time period.
Yeah.
And then if you go to other countries, everyone has their own, like, these are the poppin' artists of the time. These are the artists that are like battling for number one spots. Mm-hmm. I always want to know, like, other cultures, like who's number one there.
Yeah. Who's competitive.
Like, who's competitive. Like, what's the scene like? Like, what's the energy around it? Yo, I watched, speaking of music, I just slipped this in right here. I watched this like YouTube doc about the creator of the Gorillas and Blur. His name
Damon Albarn.
Mm-hmm. Yo, talented fuck.
Yeah, Blur is a band that I've never fully gotten into. I
like a few records.
I've respected them.
Mm-hmm.
There's great tracks like Tender is the Night, I think is one.
Mm-hmm.
This Charmless Man. It's great. There's some great songs.
I watched I watched the doc about him and where I got this idea is like they were talking about in London the battle was between Blur
and Oasis. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, that's great that you said that, because you're kind of up on so you knew that was a battle going on.
Yeah.
Okay. And it crossed over, I think, eventually, at some point we got word of, I wasn't in the know at that time, though. I'm watching the doc kind of as this is like new information to me.
And I said the title. It's Tender, not Tender is the Night.
Just Tender. Okay, gotcha.
Sorry.
No, so they do this. They have this battle of like the fan bases in the, I think it's like the late 90s to early.
It was the mid 90s.
Mid 90s. Thank you. It wasn't that late. Yeah, mid 90s, and apparently Blur won that battle from I guess because they won a bunch of awards, and Oasis kind of broke up, and there's this weird like. Yes, give me your lens of the battle between Oasis.
It depends on the how you view it, like what lens you're looking at.
Yes,
if you're looking like which band is the most relevant and made a bigger impression on music,
right?
Oasis won. Like they also played way bigger shows than Blur did.
Okay.
If you're talking about which band has like stayed together the longest, then I guess Blur would win.
Apparently the reason why they say Blur is because Blur was didn't want to play in the grunge scene and want to be more like of a European band, do more of the UK like energy, a little more cleaned up, a little more not poppy, but you know what I'm saying, like more fun. And Oasis is kind of more in the grunge, like not grunge, but you know what I'm saying, Britpop. Thank you. They were more Britpop, and so that was the battle. It was like, are you going to go more toward like the sound of the time, or are you going to go to an earlier time, which I guess Blur was doing a little bit of.
Oasis was more working class, like they were trying to relate to common people.
Yeah.
Whereas Blur was very sophisticated and artistic and
posh.
You could make an argument that Blur won in terms of staying true to themselves and keeping their focus.
Yeah.
Whereas Oasis, the later records, they do lose their focus.
Okay.
And they lose touch with their roots for sure. Mm-hmm. There's some fantastic later Oasis songs and albums though. So
yeah, for sure.
But I think you can make the argument that Blur is the most consistent between the two of them, and they win in terms of consistency and taking artistic risks rather than like playing the same type of music mostly.
Yeah, they definitely, that was another piece, is that they took a lot of risks, I guess. And
but
one of their most popular songs I didn't realize was like they were kind of making fun of the song 2, I think it's called.
Yeah, song 2.
It's like a kind of like, to them it was kind of a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were like, I'm gonna make a grunge song.
Yeah.
And it became like this big.
That's how it happens.
It always happens like that every time. Everybody's like, I'm going to make fun. I'm going to like parody the shit that's out. Watch this. And they do it.
Yeah, let's not overthink this. And then there's just
rocket ship.
What I always say to my songwriter friends who are like not liking how certain songs of theirs are perceived is once you release something, you cannot control how the audience will take it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they love something that you did, it's a gift. And
it is. It is.
Yeah. So that's why we talked earlier about like a song of mine that I'm not a big fan of.
Yes, that's right. Because I asked you about like if there's a song you don't like to perform or whatever.
Yeah. I think I like to perform every song, but I don't like to rehearse every song. There's certain songs I'm like so bored rehearsing.
Absolutely.
And that one is one of them.
Yeah.
I won't say it on this podcast.
Yes, we will keep it concealed.
It's called Song 3. It's a sequel to Song 2. But I would love to get into Blur. I think they are really talented musicians, and Graham Coxon, the guitar player for Blur, is doing like rocket science stuff on guitar. He's playing rock music in a way that nobody else plays it.
That's
on
sick.
The electric guitar.
That's really sick.
So huge like supporter of theirs. I love them, but I can't like get super into them. Yeah. I feel the same way about Bowie. I could never really get super into Bowie, even though I respect the funk that he could do.
Yeah, there's a heavy level of respect, I think, when it comes to these guys. And I didn't know. I knew about Blur, and I knew about the Gorillaz, which is another David creation.
Damon.
Excuse me, Damon. Thank you for saying that. Another Damon creation. And I didn't know that those two were related. So when I'm watching this thing, I saw like the little thumbnail, and I saw the Gorillaz and Blur, and I'm like, "What? This is the same guy?"
Same guy.
I didn't know. This is like me out of the know.
It's when you watch Blur music. When you watch Gorillaz music videos, you're like, these fucking animated characters. You don't even think about. What if I had kept the Blur and I go, you watch a Blur video, these animated characters, what the fuck?
There's clowns out here like making music.
You're like, Mike, are you okay?
They're not crazy.
They're not animated.
Yeah, no, I think for him to pivot like that.
Yeah.
And then also to like, it's interesting that he's very fearless of what music he allows to be influenced by and in, and
yeah.
He's brilliant. I thought after watching it, I was like, yo, this guy's like he was doing a lot of things that I thought were really interesting, and mad respect for him. And I guess obviously musicians that are in the know that he's one of those guys.
Yeah.
Changed a lot of things, and it was really enlightening to watch.
Sure.
I thought that was really cool.
Cool. What YouTube channel was it?
Yeah, I'll send it over to you. It's
link in the show notes.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. I will send the link. I think
it's not Mike the Snare, is it? Okay.
No, I think it's like this YouTube channel that starts with a V, like Vol. I'll look it up.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll look it up. But it was great.
That's cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
The lesson I have taken away from the Babymetal and Poppy collaboration and in doing more research on Babymetal is it's just a reminder that it's really fun to not take everything so seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fun things can be joyful, and there's a difference between being stupid or silly versus being like carefree.
Yeah.
And I actually got this concept from a video essay I watched about Godzilla X Kong.
I thought you hated that movie.
I do hate the movie. But this young man, I'm sorry, that's so condescending. This young man, let me continue.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue with the condescension. He put forth a passionate argument about
the movie being good.
About the movie being good. And it's for children, and that's okay. That it's a movie for children.
A la Dama.
And
it's not a movie.
It's not sort of a 6-hour movie or so.
Yeah, 6 or so hour movie for children.
I'd be going nuts if I was a kid watching a 6-hour movie.
Never finish it.
But I respect the take. I respect that this guy said Godzilla fans and Kong fans are going, this is a stupid movie.
Mm-hmm.
This couldn't happen. It's not realistic. It's not like Godzilla -1. And I never was that guy. You never heard.
No.
I never compared it to Godzilla -1.
No.
I hope not.
I don't think so.
It's on record if I have.
I'm coming back at you.
I'm going to get owned.
Pwned.
I'm going to get pwned. But one thing I told you about a friend of mine who called Don to Don dumb and said, this is so dumb.
Yeah, this is such a dumb show.
And like, I remember that stuck in my craw and I didn't know why.
Yeah.
And this nailed it. It's that there's a difference between something being dumb and being silly.
You're right.
And being carefree.
Right.
And free to explore and be joyous in the act of creation and the act of being goofy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give Godzilla Kong another chance.
So you haven't rewatched it yet?
I haven't rewatched it yet, but it was another piece of media that I watched when my heart was hurting real bad.
Yep.
And we saw how that worked out for Jujutsu Kaisen. It's working out great. Blue Eyes, White Dragon, that is Gojo.
Gojo. Mm-hmm.
And that was a Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
Yeah,
but
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, the heart of the cards. Shut up. Shut up, you idiot.
Yo, Yu-Gi-Oh is such a nerd. Nerd IP.
Fucking nerd. Well, yeah, like every problem that he has, he's like, oh, there's a card to solve this. Shut up. You're a fucking wimp. Like if I got into a card game with Yugi, the first thing I would do would be walk over to his podium, grab his collar and just shove him to the ground and say, how's that?
How do you feel about this bullying I'm doing to you face to face?
This hurts, doesn't it? What are your cards going to do? And then you would say, like, Blue Eyes White Dragon, and the dragon would kill me.
Just kill you right there on the spot.
And then they'd all talk about it, and Joey, that's one of the American names, Joey would say, hey, well, he hurt you.
Have you watched that show?
I watched, like, never a full episode.
But you've seen things.
It would be on TV, and, like, Yugi's voice is insanely deep in the American dub.
Oh, it's cool.
Creepy.
That's cool.
I thought it was creepy.
Yeah.
Even before he gets possessed by the Egyptian god. I believe the god's name is... I don't even know the name.
I know a few of them, but...
I read the manga.
Hibis. Is it Hibis?
I think Hibis is the guy with the curly Q in Dragon Ball Daima.
Yeah, they got that name from an Egyptian god, I'm pretty sure.
Very good. Well, anyway, I'm not a huge fan of Yugi-Oh, but Yugi-Oh. But I read the first like few chapters of the manga.
Oh, interesting.
Before it became about the cards, and that was actually a decent read. Kind of almost a suspenseful thing because he's like taken over by this scary Egyptian guy. And
that's cool.
He becomes like, he's a nice guy in his day to day, but then he becomes kind of a badass when he gets taken over. So it's like sort of the Dr. Jekyll,
Mr. Hyde,
Mr. Yugi,
Mr. Yugi.
Why do I find the name Yugi so fun?
It is fun.
But yeah, I want to embrace having fun with art, and I want to give Godzilla Kong another chance. I think
that's a good idea. I have a few things I feel like that are in that ballpark where it's like. Wasn't a huge fan because it just didn't speak to me or whatever the case. But it's good to give things a second view. Yeah,
and I was not exactly in the best place when I watched that movie the first time, so I think I'm going to give it another chance. I mean, worst case scenario is I know that I don't like it.
Yeah, it's like it's not for me.
It'll definitely be entertaining and take my mind off of the reciprocal tariffs. Which, by the way, I almost said that was my favorite April Fool's joke.
Yeah, my favorite April Fool's joke is when the president threw a bunch of tariffs at everyone.
Nuked my portfolio.
Yeah, everything's down.
Now I can't retire next year.
No. Next year's. I was ready. Yo, imagine that guy. Holy fuck. But
Godzilla and Kong will not destroy...
They wouldn't dare burn down any of our
401ks,
our stock portfolio.
They are actually, this is true. Mm-hmm. This is where like my band leader, you're my band leader.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Jay Leno had a band leader, a black man named Kevin.
Yeah.
I didn't choose you because you're black.
That's why I'm here.
The band leader.
D.I. hire.
No.
Just kidding.
God damn it.
D.I.
No, hey, I am that.
It does not exist anymore.
That's true.
Yeah. So I lost my another job. Just kidding.
God damn it. I was going to say, Godzilla and Kong have not damaged the world nearly as much as the Trump administration. You watch the movie, they're like destroying the planet. I'm just like, it's still not as bad.
Still not as bad.
Yeah, anyway, let's turn it around.
Yeah, we'll turn it to more enjoyables.
The last thing I want to mention is Trump. No, I'm just kidding.
I want to talk about teas.
It's on the list here.
It is on there.
Trump.
I mean, I don't really have much to say about that besides grinning and bearing, because that's what I think a lot of people are going to have to do. I mean, they're going to have to do that, and then obviously letting their voice be heard. Excuse me.
The big protests.
Yeah, the big protest was a big deal.
That was cool.
I think that's great. I think that I don't know if I want my views out there like that.
Let's just move past it.
Yeah, we'll move past it.
We'll find a way to edit this together next time.
Yes, let's move past it. But
we'll move past it.
Yeah.
But let's end the show with a talk about the future of the Akira Slide podcast. Are you still on board for this show?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, the show's fantastic. You know what's great about the show is that It's helping me do exactly what I said I wanted to do. Remember?
Yep.
I came in, I said,
branch out.
I'm completely out of my depth in the space that I originated from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came in the 90s early on the Dragon Ball train, like a lot of us did. Our age group anyway. Mm-hmm. And then with that, we found other new and fun things to like watch. If you continued on that train of, stuff, I kind of listed those things that existed in the late 90s to early 2000s that kept me in the anime space or that culture, Japanese culture, as it were. And then there was a period where, that stopped. And when I stopped, there became like this new boom.
Yeah.
And this new big three, not speaking about rap, but like new big three in the anime space. Mm-hmm. I remembered what the anime show was called now. I was talking about Bleach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to think about Bleach. People always put Bleach in there. It's always Naruto, One Piece, Bleach.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah.
This was the earlier days. And then obviously other things have kind of reconfigured, and Naruto is always there. One Piece actually kind of has maybe strengthened their hold in that space. And I don't know what the new third was supposed to be, or from what I'm seeing has been
Kaizen,
Jujutsu Kaisen. Exactly. And I'm like, really, guys? I haven't seen the show, so I can't say shit. It's just that I just have not been drawn in by things that I've seen of it.
Maybe watch an AMV or something and see if it... Anime music video. Yeah. Well, that's what the Anime Music Visions zine was referencing.
I like that.
Yeah, AMVs.
Sure.
But yeah, I only ask because I'm going to get vulnerable.
Yeah, go ahead.
For a second, I have gotten worried the past week that maybe you were pulling away from the show. No. Because I was
pulling away from life right now.
Yeah, I realized as I walked in, I'm like, oh yeah, it's probably the April spring break.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
there was this worry I had where it's like, you and I have been working on projects together since like 2021, and there's been a lot of stop and go.
Oh, sure.
Stop and go.
Sure.
I thought maybe you were like burnt out, or like Dad Men. The fact that didn't work out made you go, you know what? I'm burned.
Fuck this guy.
It was a delayed fuck this guy.
Yeah, it's like a really late.
Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
You're 15 episodes into this show and you go, wait a minute. I hate this.
I hate this guy.
No, but because I one of the things I wanted to talk about this week was the future of this show. And like I've been invited on a podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
that's sick.
Yeah, I can't say too much about it, but the guy has a pretty decent following.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I'm thinking one of the things you and I can do is to go on podcasts together now.
Yeah.
So figure that out and maybe get 2 mics, just because I think people get weirded out if we go on a podcast and there's no mic and it's just a phone.
We're very modern men, man.
We're lo-fi.
Yeah, lo-fi modern men.
But so yeah, we should guest on some pods. And
no, that would be dope. Actually, that'd be really dope to try to like find like, there's
that's how you get an audience, is by guesting on other shows. And it's scary. I'm scared about going on.
Are you?
Yeah, and he invited me, and I'm gonna see if I can invite you too.
I won't feel anyway if I'm not.
The show is called. I'll bleep out in the edit, but
sure.
Cool. And so he usually interviews like one-on-one with one person about like why they're like trying to make content and get like popular.
That's dope. That's super dope.
Yeah, but I would want you to be like a guest with me on most Akira Slide promotional appearances.
I appreciate it.
But anyway,
the show is beautiful.
I want to eventually get a video component.
Yep.
I'm glad we're not doing it this week because I need a haircut.
Yes, you need a haircut.
Yeah, we both are. We We don't look kempt.
Yeah, a little shag.
We look
Yeah, a little shag. I mean, I did shower today.
I did too. Yeah, we're on top of it.
Yeah, we're clean.
We're clean. We're clean. We don't look it, but we're clean.
Yeah, we're clean here. Just the hair needs a little.
But yeah, I want to do video, shorts, and just try to really grow this thing because I that's why I was so worried about you, and I wasn't that worried. It's not like I was.
You were just thinking about it.
Every so often, I'd go, "Oh man, is he burnt out?"
Yeah, no, not burnt out. Not with this.
No, I hear you, man.
Yeah,
but now that I've had the dog surgery recovery moment, I'm like, okay, I can see how this burns people out.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
No, this is the most. I think this might be the most fun I've had doing a podcast consistently.
That's dope. I appreciate it.
And I used to do that. Is this podcast named Taken Show? And I've been reflecting on that a lot today, and I'm very proud of what I accomplished with that show.
Yeah, it's really dope.
I wish that I hadn't deleted the archive. There's just something about me when I'm done with something.
Yeah, you're done.
I'm just done. And but I had some really incredible guests on that show, but it's this just it brings a spark to my week.
We're really in our element. It not was, to say that other things that we did were not in our element. It's just that this is more.
I think just the fact that Dad Men was an episode recap show.
Yeah,
it was never going to work for me fully. And that's why I was always trying to figure out a way to add
funkify it
to make it not an episode, to make it not what it was.
Yes.
And for this show, I never have to make it not what it is,
because it can just be what it is.
Just be what it is. So it's my type of show. This is my dream podcast where I can talk about zines, comics, metal.
Metal.
we were so close to saying the same
media
word.
Metal, yeah.
Media metal. The media of metal.
The media of metal. No, I think the show is great. It's helped me expand and enjoy more just more of what I love.
Yeah.
And what I lost with
well, good.
Yeah. So I'm really into that, and I like to share that with you during the show, because I'm not talking to a lot of people. For one, I'm not talking to a lot of people. One, not because I'm not a person that talks. It's just my current situation does not lend me to speak with a bunch of people, because that's a whole other bag of worms. But so it's good to be able to do that, and that's why the podcast, and I just like speaking. I have a lot of thoughts and stuff, and if I'm not able to get those out, it just kind of stays with me.
Yeah.
That's kind of boring.
Yeah. It's good to have a reason to talk.
Yeah. Someone who's listening and understanding what you're saying.
Yeah.
Those things. And that's no diss or anything.
No.
What I'm saying is, we all have our niches and things like that. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you want to speak with someone who's also in that same niche where you can go back and forth about that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
we're both similar in many ways and different in many ways. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes us good.
Yeah.
Good co-hosts.
Indeed.
Bounce off of each other.
Indeed.
And this is that show that I want to keep going for, as long as possible.
Oh, yeah. And as long as they keep giving us stuff to it's funny, it doesn't even really have to be giving us stuff. There's so much stuff in the past that could be viewed. It's almost unlimited.
It is pretty much there's so many different series, movies, and we've created something that it leans towards anime, but we can talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's as beautiful a thing as any.
Yeah, yeah. And it really has. It's evergreen.
Yeah. So I wanted to check in and be emotionally vulnerable because this is something I used to avoid doing, but now I'm just throwing it out there. And
fear not. The show's great.
Well, good, because I bought a condo for us.
I'm glad.
I'm glad.
That's great. You got the condo.
Just a recording condo.
Yep, of course. I know what kind of condo it is.
He already knew. That's good. You're like, well, I got good news for you, buddy.
Yep.
So I bought one as well.
Yep. Wait. We can't have two podcast condos.
Two.
It's got to be one.
One for the Patreon episodes.
Yeah. The risque stuff.
Yes. All right.
That'll be fun.
Well, anyway, the future is bright, but we currently are in production hell because we only have one episode of how can I phrase this? The backlog is 0 episodes deep.
Yes.
Because tomorrow the next episode comes out, so we will have 0 episodes in the can.
Yep.
So
we do have plans for things that I think we'll just need to execute on. You
were busy.
Yeah, I've had a gap in time where I wasn't able to do them, but I think the next, or what I want to do is the movie watch, then the not the review.
You'll see.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. You'll all see. There's some cool stuff. We're gonna have to figure it out, but as long as you're still on board, still passionate, then I can make it work. Because the exciting news is that I'm about to get really busy doing recording for music. Yes. And then also I'll be rehearsing for that show. So
that's right.
Yeah. So but I can make time as long as we're both into it. And so that's a good reason to check. But
absolutely.
I'm committed to getting the backlog back to Dragon Ball Daima standards where
they were just feeding us. There's a lot of episodic things that kept it a little beefier.
Well, I mean, how Daima, they had been working on it for like more than 2 years before even the first trailer came out.
Yeah.
So this show, I'd love for us to get a backlog. And this is inside baseball, and maybe I'll add sound effects to make it more interesting. But that's just a little peek behind the curtain. This is the most current the show has ever been. None of our podcasts have ever been this current.
That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. So
the currency of it.
Maybe we can do a smaller backlog, but I still like to have some episodes prepared in case one of us gets sick or one of us wants to go on a vacation.
Yeah, I like that.
Without the other one.
And there you have it. That was the lost episode of Akira Slide. Make sure to leave a review if you like the episode. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and until we meet again, keep sliding.